Hi, welcome to Inside Yachting. This is the full-length review of Motor Yacht Chapinav. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, then you'll see the link just down below the screen here to InsideYachting.com. That's where you can get more information about this and any of the other boats that we have reviewed. We create yacht packs for each and every boat that's currently listed for sale. And inside the yacht packs has all of the photographs, all the detailed descriptions, and the full specifications for each yacht, as well as some pricing analysis and some insider insights from myself on that particular boat. So be sure to get over to the website for that. And if you're already on the website, then you'll notice over on the right-hand side here, there's a yacht pack request button. Click on that, leave me your name, the best email address for you, and the name of the boat that you're interested in. Here it would be Chapinav, and I'll get that yacht pack over to you right away. So let's take a look inside Motor Yacht Chapinav. Now there we can see a good profile shot of her. It is almost a brand new boat, launched in 2012. It has the most modern sort of profile that Azimut have out in any of their latest models. The large hull-side windows on that full beam master cabin, as well as up forwards in the forward VIP too. So I'm looking at some of the specifications here. 78 feet long, 18 feet 4 inches is the beam, launched in 2012. The boat's here in South Florida. It's actually having a bit of work done to the boat at the moment, and we'll find out more details about that a little bit later on. It has had sort of a colourful past, but this represents one of the best deals right now in this sort of European style boat, and we'll find out about that in a few minutes. So it's 29 knots is the cruising speed. 29 knots is the maximum speed. 23 knots is the cruise. They are asking $3,749,000 right now. This is, of course, a GRP hull. So, looking into some of the photographs now, because that work is being done to the boat, they don't have any actual photographs of the interior of the boat. But this, during the build, was so highly optioned and upgraded that it's actually almost identical to Azimut's best show model that they took all of these in-house photographs for. So you'll see this sister ship logo sort of dotted around there. These are manufacturer provided photographs of their show model, but this will give you a great idea of the layout. The actual boat Chapinav is virtually identical to this. There are a couple of small changes, and I'll explain those as we go. So looking through the exterior here, see, she is the fixed or hard flybridge bimini top version. It has a great retractable canvas section in the middle, sort of gives you the best of both worlds. You can cover it up when you want that shade and open it up when you want a bit of sunlight up on that flybridge area. There's a nice large sun pad or sunbathing area up on the bow. Chapinav is a little bit different, that it has almost a convertible top, that there's sort of another bimini top that comes over the top of that forward sunbathing section. So this boat that we're focusing on, Chapinav, is even more highly upgraded than the show model from Azimut. The other few photographs here don't really show us too much. The boat does have nice large window sections on the house section of the boat, as well as down in the hull, and a nice overall profile there as well. There aren't any sort of steps or ladders here leading up onto the higher levels. It's all sort of fixed and molded in stairwells. Gives a feel of a much larger boat. So up on the flybridge here, we can look at that photograph at the top on the left-hand side. You can see the large section there that retracts. You also get a good feel for the overall sort of layout up here. Now, there is one major difference here to Chapinav as opposed to this photograph version, and that's on the left-hand side where the fixed bimini top comes down. That sort of fashion board there is what that's called. That's in this photograph, that's a barbecue and a sink section. There's some ice makers and fridges in there. Well, that whole unit has been taken out and has been moved so that it runs port to starboard, just a little bit more forwards of where it is now. So it actually works quite nicely. It improves the flow of traffic around this area. It sort of opens up the deck space, and they've actually raised that whole unit up, so it's almost like a double level bar, and they have some bar stools and things there. So it's actually a very nice alteration that they did. The other thing that they did, and this wasn't during the build, is they've removed that hot tub. Now, that hot tub is kind of a big, chunky thing to be up there. Some people that like the hot tub, some people just don't want a hot tub on the boat. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's all personal preference. The good thing about Chapinav is all of the pumps and the plumbing and all of the water supply is still there. It's obviously concealed away, but it's still there. So if the next owner did want to install a hot tub, it's a couple of $1,000 to get these things. They're basically a contained unit. You pick them up, you fix them to the deck, and you're good to go. Now, on Chapinav, where that jacuzzi originally was, they've just modified that into some extra seating. So there's actually a lot of seating up here towards the forward end of the flybridge here. Around the helm, there is another sunbathing section there as well. So it's actually a very large sort of deck space that you have up here. Moving forwards, we can see on the bottom photograph on the left and the top on the right, that's our large sunbathing pad. It's the largest area for sunbathing on the boat. Chapinav has that bimini top that comes from the sort of higher end, or where your head would be, is almost like a convertible top that comes and arches over this whole pad. So it's a very, very nice feature. Down on the bottom right-hand side, this is the main deck aft. There is access from here, sort of the Euro steps down to either side of this U-shaped seating down to the swim platform, and the boat actually has a large hydraulic swim platform as well. So it has a standard 3 or 4 feet that come standard from Azimut, that's sort of built and molded into the hull. But this has another 5 or 6 foot worth of hydraulic swim platform that also holds the tender. So that's the tender launching system, and it takes the tender away from being up on the flybridge. Now, they do have the davits still up on the flybridge here in case you wanted to add a jet ski or some scooters or something, but the main tender launching is down on that swim platform. And as we saw with Orca Explorer, it means you can have a much larger tender there as well. So that's a great feature. On this main deck aft, there's sort of ice makers and fridges there. There's a little sink and a little workbench there as well. Now, moving into the interior, the top photograph on the left-hand side, this is of the salon. Now, Chapinav is very, very similar to this. It has a similar colorings, has a similar carpet here. The only section of carpet that it doesn't have is up a step to where the galley is. Now, the galley's to starboard. There's dining to the port, and that's just sort of towards the back of that photograph there that we see on the top left-hand side. Moving across onto the right-hand side, that's the helm. The general layout here is identical to Chapinav. The helm is very slightly different. Chapinav, they have a custom-made brushed aluminium helm. They have doubled up on all of the electronics and the navigation equipment. So there's a lot of equipment down here that had to be sort of moved around, and that was why they opted for getting a higher spec helm sort of panel here to house all of that equipment. And all of this equipment here is doubled up on the flybridge as well. Later on in the write-up, we'll see all of the upgrades and all of the sort of added extras that they have on this boat. And it's quite a considerable amount of equipment that they have on here. So down these steps on the bottom right-hand side, this is down to the lower guest cabins. Now, this is a 4 stateroom, 4 bathroom layout. One of the bathrooms doubles as the day head as well. So there's the king, which is the full beam master cabin. There's a queen up forwards in the forward VIP. There's also another double, which I believe is a queen bed as well. And the final cabin, the 4th cabin, is 2 singles. They're actually quite large singles, but it has a Pullman there as well. So you can actually sleep up to 9 people in this yacht. So these are the cabins. Now, generally the woods and the creams, the carpets, the soft goods are all identical to Chapinav. They have some different, sort of accent coloring. They don't have that sort of violet color that's here. It's a little bit more toned down than the Italians have gone for their demo model here. But essentially the same boat. They have a great walk-in closets here. They have a huge master bathroom. Those windows that are port and starboard of this full beam cabin just open this entire area up to basically to the waterline, and of course letting all of that sunlight and natural light flood into this room. So it's a very open and airy area down throughout all of the guest cabins down here. The bottom photograph on the right hand side, you can see that's the forward VIP. So central island queen, walk around queen, and you have the 2 port and starboard large hull side windows up there as well. More sort of porthole looking, but still very, very large for this size cabin. That's en suite as well. The photograph at the bottom on the left that you can see there, that's of the twin cabin, and then there is another double cabin which for some reason they didn't photograph from the manufacturer. But once we do get the photographs up and running for this boat, then I'll put out another video and you can see all of the actual photographs. Now we do have some actual profile shots of Chapinav, and that's the last few that we'll see here. So you can see it's almost identical to those, and I'll just remind you of the manufacturer shots here. So this is direct from the manufacturer. These are their supplied photographs. The 2 on the left hand side are going to be the most relevant to look at now. So when I flip forwards to the actual photographs of Chapinav, there you can see, and this final one here at the bottom on the right hand side, or basically an identical boat as far as the exterior profiling goes. And there's actually a good shot of the tender at the back there, on that swim platform at the bottom on the left hand side there. So let's delve into the sort of situation that Chapinav is in. Now, she was out of the water at the beginning of this year, going to have some general planned maintenance done. They were going to refresh the bottom paint, just check some of the running gear. The boat was out and ready to be blocked, so it was only a couple of inches off of the ground of the lowest point of the hull. In fact, the props had already been pulled off. At that point, just before they started to block the boat, the very aft strap of the lift snapped and just sat the boat down on its rudders. Now, it was a blessing in disguise. It was only the one strap, and it just sat the boat down. Most of the weight on these Azimuts, because the engine room is slightly more forwards, most of the weight is on the central line of the boat. So with it just being the aft strap that broke, it didn't do an awful lot of damage. Now, since that point, the owner has employed 3 external or independent surveyors. He's employed an independent fiberglass technician, as well as some project managers and things, to make sure that the repairs to the boat are done so that once she's complete, she'll be in better than new condition. So they've been very, very thorough. They've actually completely removed all of the rudder gear, the rudder stocks. They've repaired all of the hull. In fact, on the sections of the hull, and it was just very slight cracking. I did see the damage myself. Rather than repair it, they actually cut that whole section out of the hull and then started from scratch relaying the hull. They actually put more stringers in than Azimut would have direct from the build. So now she's had that hull work complete. She's back in the water. She actually went back in the water yesterday, and she is absolutely more structurally sound than when she first came out of the yard from Azimut. On top of that, they've replaced the rudders and the rudder stocks. They've replaced a lot of the rudder control gear. They've replaced the struts that support the shafts when they come out of the hull. They've replaced all the bearings, all the seals. They've even given them new shafts. When the surveyors inspected the original shafts that were in when the boat was dropped, it had just a hair of a scratch on the very end section of the thread that the nut goes on to secure the props. But because the boat is under complete warranty, this is also an insurance claim. They just replaced those shafts. So right now you have a better than new boat with all brand new equipment. It's a 2012 model anyway. But with that in mind, the owner has pretty heavily discounted the asking price of the boat in order to reflect the fact that it has had a history there of repair. Although that repair was very good, he has dropped that price down to reflect that. Now, a brand new 78 from the dealer, there was one being sold at the last Fort Lauderdale boat show, and they were asking, I believe it was 4.9 that they were asking for the boat. It was definitely mid to high fours, whatever the actual finishing number was there, I don't know, but 3.79 for a boat that these guys are offering is quite a considerable discount on what's essentially a brand new boat. So let's take a look at some of the upgrades here and moving on from that. I have got a much more detailed write-up of exactly what's happened to the boat and the repairs and things, and we have documented all of the repairs and all of the new equipment that's been fitted. So if this is something that interests you in sort of capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances that happened to this owner, he was actually considering moving up to a larger boat anyway when this accident happened. So it's just sort of, with all of the new work and the new equipment that's on board, he wants to pass on those benefits to the next owner. All of the work that was just done is fully warranted. All of the new equipment that they have installed is also fully warranted as well. So there's no risks there for the new owner to take on something that's going to subsequently give them problems in the future. So we look in some of this right up here. A lot of this is just the features that were opted from the build and the sort of aftermarket upgrades that they've had. The main selling features here of this boat, it has the large hydraulic swim platform back there. It has 0-speed stabilizers. It has SAT TV. It even has VSAT for global internet and global data streaming. It has a ghost system on board, which is the security system. You can get alarms and things routed through to your cell phone. There's security cameras there that you can have remote access to as well. So that's a very expensive upgrade. It has new bottom paint. Like I said, it has all that new equipment, new rudder stocks, new seals, new bearings, new shafts. The props have been dynamically balanced. And on top of all of those individual warranties, the boat actually has a Brunswick passport. It's called a privilege passport package, and that's a full warranty on all equipment and machinery on the boat, and that's running through 2018. So there's another 4 years left of a full complete machinery warranty. So that's a huge selling feature there as well. I'm going to flick through this to some of these upgrades that they have fitted. I do have this yacht pack ready to go. So if you want to flick through all of these and have a good read through of this spec at your own speed, then just click on the right hand side here, that yacht pack button. Leave me your name, the best email address for you, and the name of the boat that you're interested in here obviously is Chapinav, and I'll get that yacht pack over to you right away. So on the left hand side here, just looking at some of these upgraded items, has the high speed internet, the ghost security system, the custom helm station. It has the doubled up electronics on the flybridge and on the main helm down on the main deck. The generators are doubled up. They're the 20 kilowatt generators. Has that hard top, which is actually quite an expensive upgrade from the build as well. And a few other things that you'll see here. It has the the upgraded appliances in the galley. It has the TV that's on a electric lift in the main salon, and that list goes on and on and on. The deck equipment also has a lot of upgrades there. That's detailed on the right hand side. And then actually that's that's it on this page here. So everything all together. This boat is one of those boats that you really need to look at carefully, get all of the information and all of the survey items that have come from the independent surveyors that sort of controlled the repairs throughout, from the boat being unfortunately dropped after the lift snapped and to it now being put back in the water. It truly is in better than new condition than when it came out from the yard. All of that extra support that they put in the aft section of the hull, they increase the they increase the thickness of the hull material itself, as well as putting extra stringers on the back there. So over the next coming weeks, the boat will be put through some more surveys. It'll have vibration analysis and other sort of pretty stringent tests done on the boat. So effectively, what's going to be a brand new boat, once all of this is done, it's going to be fully surveyed, fully warranted, and given the clear by all of the insurance companies. This is going to be a fantastic opportunity for someone to really capitalize on this discounted price. So get that yacht pack. Have a click around the website, take a look at some of the other reviews that we've done. This week's reviews were concentrating on the 70 to 80 foot range. That was requested by some of the Insider Yachting listeners. If there's any other size or style that you would like to see reviewed, then just shoot me an email and let me know what you're most interested in. So, I will be bringing you more information about Chapinav in the future as the repairs get completed. It should be all done and dusted by the end of July. So keep an eye out for that. And she's here in Fort Lauderdale. If you'd like to get on board, I'd be more than happy to take you for a walkthrough. So thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time.